Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I decided if I was going to come to Indiana Tech, I was going to be a different kind of instructor. I was really going to focus on connecting with students, teaching the students the theory that they needed and also the practical applications.
Very practically what that looks like is smaller class sizes. So my class sizes are the 8 to 10 up to maybe 20. And that's backed up with we have 18 hours of office hours every week. I'm sitting in my office waiting for students to come in to talk about anything. It doesn't just have to be with the classroom.
In the College of Engineering, we have ABET accreditation for mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and biomedical engineering. ABET is the top accrediting board for engineering in the United States and probably in the world.
Another thing that is a very different approach at Indiana Tech, I think, that some other universities, is we try and make sure they have a lot of lab experience in the engineering department. All engineering programs are going to have laboratory courses, but in our laboratory courses we try to get them not just exposure to measurements and exposure to some of the devices that you'll be used, but I like to actually assign projects that are, realistic projects.
Those projects, this project-based learning, help students to work together in a group and be hands-on with their the material or the product that they're creating. Engineering students at Indiana Tech to me, stand out because I know that they've had a lot of experiences working in groups, working on projects, doing lab experiments to help them understand the material, and I think that prepares them well for industry.
First thing I'll tell a high school student is study, study, study. Get all the math you can possibly get. I honestly believe that the critical thinking skills you learn in math courses will help you with engineering courses.
The type of knowledge base that students should have coming in, they need to be problem solvers and critical thinkers. Those two things are really the essence of engineering. Regardless of flavor, they're going to need to figure out, there's a problem here, how do I solve it? And they need to think critically about that. They need to observe, listen to people, and then kick in those problem-solving skills to solve the problem.
Part of the growth of Indiana Tech has involved an increasing number of international students. So I think if we can expose students to different ideas, different cultures, again, it makes them that much more competitive in the marketplace.
In the Fort Wayne area, we have lots of large companies, BAE Systems, Fort Wayne Metals, General Motors, Raytheon, Harris Corporation, and the list goes on. We have a lot of employers that want our engineering students.
Indiana Tech, I think, continues to serve students even beyond their graduation. We really strive to keep in touch with our alumni on a personal level just to see how they're doing, but then also they want to give back to the university because of the experiences they've had here, so they want to provide opportunities for other students here as well.
starting lineups now. First for the visiting University of Northwest Ohio Racers. At guard, a 5'7" senior from Akron, Ohio, number 1, Jada Haynes. Starting at another guard, a 5'6" southpaw from Madrid, Spain, wearing number 4, Anna Montero Sands. At swing, number 10, at 5'7" from Toledo, Ohio, Alyssa Lawson. At forward, a 6' senior from Madison, Wisconsin, number 20, Kayla Hooser. And at forward, a 6' senior from Girona, Spain, Mariana Crispo. The Racers are coached by Matt Tamro. And now for your Warriors. Wearing number 2, a 5'7", a 5'10" freshman, Newport, Michigan, number 2, Genevieve Dexter. Wearing number 3, a 5'7" guard, a freshman from Dublin, Ohio, number 3, Taylor Covington. Wearing number 11, a 5'11" freshman from Gas City, Indiana, a senior, number 11, Erica Boyd. At guard, a 5'7", wearing number 13, from Richmond, Indiana, Sarah Whitaker. And at guard, a 5'7" junior, from Western Ohio, number 20,
Well, those are the starting lineups. We are here at the Schaefer Center in Fort Wayne, Indiana, as Indiana Tech is set to take on UNOH. Indiana Tech, first place in the WAC conference. They're 18-3 overall, 12-1 in conference play. UNOH comes in at 9-10 overall. Warriors recently knocked off Cornerstone for their last game, and they get the ball to start things out. This is Taylor Covington, and it's worth mentioning that Erica Foy is coming off back-to-back double-doubles, had 17 points and 11 rebounds in that game against Cornerstone earlier this week. Bethany Worm, who has the ball right now, also had a big game against Cornerstone. She scored 16 points, but the Warriors working the shot clock down. Worm will let it fly with 5 to shoot. It was 5 when she shot it, and it's an empty possession for Indiana Tech to start things out. That was Anna Montero Sands who brought the ball down the floor for UNOH. Racers work the ball inside, and that'll lead to a foul. It was Alicia Lawson, the freshman from Toledo, who gets fouled, and she'll go to the line. Genevieve Decker called for the foul. And Lawson gets the Racers on the board first. Lawson is the second leading scorer on this UNOH team. She averages 12.8 points per game. The leading scorer is Jada Haynes. And Lawson goes 2 for 2 to get the Racers on top, 2-0. Still no sign of Juliana Burris. She's been out for quite some time. As Kyra Whitaker looking to get free. She remains the leading scorer for the Warriors this season. Covington the drive, late pass, basket is good, and it's Bethany Worm coming off that 16-point performance, and Worm gets the Warriors on the board. Long pass, Decker got a hand on it but knocked it out. Tried to save it, but it was to no avail. 8:45 on the clock. And Lawson will put the ball in play. Sands around a couple of screens, going for the bank. Couldn't finish, but she gets her own rebound. And Sands able to put it in. UNOH back on top. They've scored on each of their first 2 possessions. Jessie Biggs going to get a sub to the bench, and I think that actually is Juliana Burris. Foy with a tough shot on the inside, and Erica Foy is coming off back-to-back double-doubles. As I mentioned earlier, she had 17 points and 11 rebounds in the Warriors' last game. Battle for the ball, and Decker's got the takeaway. Whitaker will come across the timeline. Worm with a long pass over to Covington. She's got enough space, but can't hit the 3. Covington has been shooting it extremely well from beyond the arc this year. She's shooting it at over 48% on the season, as Lawson, trying to give the Racers the lead, came up short. Warriors have not led yet in this game. Of course, we're only 2.5 minutes in. Covington into the paint. Blocked from behind. Decker keeps it alive. She finds Covington, and an extra possession for the Warriors. That's poked toward the backcourt. That's a live ball. It was tipped by the Racers. Whitaker keeps it alive, but the shot clock's down to 9. Covington drives. She finds Decker. Pull-up jumper. Banks it in, and the foul. Genevieve Decker, the hoop and the harm, and she gives the Warriors their first lead of the game. Decker has started some games and came in off the bench in others, but no matter how you stack it, she's averaging 10.4 points per game. She's done a lot of good work on the post as well. Not able to complete that 3-point play, but she does get the Warriors their first lead of the game, as Jada Haynes, the leading scorer for UNOH, gets around the screen. Montero Sands with the extra pass to Mar Murata Crespo. Nice feed inside. The basket is good. I believe that was Kalia Cruiser who got the bucket. Decker, tough shot. Not that time. She gets it back and scores. Genevieve Decker with back-to-back buckets. Warriors are back on top. Here comes Montero Sands. That's a pull-up 3 for Lawson. Couldn't get it to fall, and Whitaker has the board. Whitaker across the timeline finds Worm. Foy puts it up and in. Erica Foy coming off those back-to-back double-doubles, one against Lawrence Tech and one of them against Cornerstone. Jada Haynes throws it up, trying to go off glass, but couldn't finish. Whitaker gets a screen, that's Worm. Worm calling for it down low, tried to keep it alive, but turns it over. Marmorada Crespo hands that one off to Montero Sands, and Sands fires a 3. That won't go. Decker has the board for Indiana Tech. Long outlet. She's got Worm down on the other block, and Worm's going to go to the line. Erica Foy, I mentioned, coming off back-to-back double-doubles. At Lawrence Tech game, she had 20 points and 15 boards. We'll get the first entry of the game for Corinne Smith, sophomore guard out of Fenton, Michigan, who gets a lot of minutes off the bench. But Worm able to add to the Warriors' lead. Not many seniors on this Warrior team, but they do have a couple of graduate students as Smith fights for the board and gets it to Foy. Whitaker drives. The dish outside to Smith. Check that. That was Foy who she dished it to. Smith was on the opposite wing. Whitaker's three doesn't fall, and Juliana Burris will chase it down. Whitaker finds Worm on the inside. We're down under 10 seconds, and the Warriors almost turned it over. They're going to call a kickball against the Racers. Trinity Raines comes into the game. Raines is a 5'7" junior guard out of Beecher, Michigan, a transfer from Delta College. Inbound goes to Smith. Looking for Foy. Foy does get it, but can't hit the shot. Haynes looked like she was just across the timeline when she caught the pass. She's a senior out of Akron, Ohio. Lawson with the pull-up jumper comes up short. Burris has the board for Indiana Tech. Smith slowing it down, finds Whitaker. Whitaker will bring it back outside, and at UNOH, looks to be in a man-to-man here. That's knocked away. Jada Haynes, or check that, Lawson, and Lawson gets to the bucket and scores. I said Raines. I thought that was number 10 who scored. Either way, it stands as an 11-8 lead for the Warriors. Worm able to prevent the turnover. Smith going for the loose ball. She's got it. An extra possession for the Warriors. Whitaker into the paint. Draws extra defenders and threw it out of bounds. Looking for Worm down low. As Decker and Covington will come into the game. UNOH keeping this one close. Had an early lead after made baskets on their first two possessions. Here is Trinity Raines. She feeds that one off, and it's Haynes on the drive to the basket. Contested shot, out of bounds. Racers ball. Haynes around the screen. Five seconds on the shot clock. Racers need to get it off. They're running out of time. They're not going to. Raines might not have seen the shot clock, but Indiana Tech's going to take over off the shot clock violation. Burris across the timeline finds Covington. They fake the pass. Foy cutting, trying to get it to her, and she was fouled from behind. Foul was on the floor. It was before the shot was taken. It was before she even made a move to the basket. Marta Gativa into the game. Sophomore center out of Madrid, Spain. Foul was called on Marmorata Crespo. That's her second. Just got the announcement a second ago as Burris looks to go baseline, has the ball knocked out of bounds. Tech will keep it. Covington looking to put it in. She finally does, and Decker goes up like a wide receiver to catch it, but the shot clock's down to 7. Down to 1, and now the Warriors are going to commit a shot clock violation. Well, right after they forced UNOH into a shot clock violation, the Warriors turn it over the same way. Anna Montero Sance, guarded by Whitaker. Haynes fakes the shot, drives toward the paint. No good, and Foy with a good box out. As Covington comes the other way, Whitaker. That's a 2 if it goes. It does not. Haynes lost the ball. Whitaker going after it. Out of bounds. Who touched it last? Apparently UNOH did. Here's Covington across the timeline for the Warriors. Calling for it was Foy. Now Smith cuts to the basket. Whitaker has yet to score in this one. She's the leading scorer, but here's Covington short on the 3. We haven't had a make from downtown from either team in this game. Kalia Cruiser across the timeline. Raines fires a 3. That's off the mark. Still no one has made a 3 in this game. Long outlet to Decker. Decker with the feed to Foy, and Foy gets fouled. She'll go to the stripe. Foul is called on Trinity Raines. And Erica Foy goes to the line, coming off those back-to-back double-doubles against Lawrence Tech and Cornerstone, but Foy a little long on that first one. Long on the second one, too, but Smith with the offensive board. Warriors struggling so far from beyond the arc. Whitaker has enough space, but missed the 3. Foy tried to keep it alive, but knocks it out. .57 seconds flat left here in this first quarter. UNOH keeping it close against the first place team in the WAC conference, the Indiana Tech Warriors. Sance able to find some help. And here's Sance with the kick out to Cruiser. Down to 10 seconds on the shot clock as Trinity Raines feeds it off. Cruiser on the drive, lost the ball. It's out of bounds. Warriors take over. It was just a question of did the Warriors touch it last, but even if they did, there would have only been 4 seconds on the shot clock. Shot clock is still on. There's about I'd say a half-second differential between game clock and shot clock. As Covington finds some help with Worm. Back out to Covington. Still no made 3s in this game. Covington able to protect, finds Worm. Worm had the shot blocked. Decker comes up with it, and the putback is good. Decker keeps it alive and finishes. That's going to be the end of the first quarter. 13-8 in favor of Indiana Tech. We'll be back for the second quarter in just a moment on this broadcast of Warrior Basketball, brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
We are ready for the second quarter here at the Schaefer Center. Indiana Tech on top. 13-8. They got that bucket from Genevieve Decker, and Decker has been making a number of plays. We'll show you the most recent one. Decker's had a couple offensive putbacks, and she had this one to close out the quarter with not only the shot clock winding down, but the game clock winding down as well. Decker racing towards the ball. She wasn't just Johnny on the spot. She was quick to the spot. Crespo traveled. And UNOH turns it over early in the quarter. Smith out up top. Covington getting a breather, but she's at the scorer's table waiting to check in. Here's Worm coming off that 16-point performance. Worm spins in and scores. Bethany Worm trying to pick up where she left off in Grand Rapids earlier this week. That was against Cornerstone. I believe there's 2 WAC schools in Grand Rapids, the other being Aquinas. High pass, just barely grabbed by Haynes, but Haynes has it blocked, and I believe that was Decker. Worm with the outlet. Smith in transition, able to put it home. Corinne Smith, the sophomore from Fenton, Michigan, able to knock it down. Of course, this Northwest Ohio team, you know what state they're in? They're in the town of Lima, Ohio. Worm has the takeaway. Bethany Worm straddling the baseline. And she's wide open for 3, and she knocks it down. First 3 of the game, and it's Worm who comes up with a triple. They go down low, and that's Cruiser who could not finish, and here come the Warriors the other way with Whitaker. Whitaker fires one to Decker. Worm going to try another one. Why not? Back-to-back triples for Bethany Worm. Haynes gets around the screen. Decker picks her up, but Decker knocks it away and into Worm's hands. 2 players who have made a huge impact already in this game. Decker with multiple offensive putbacks, and she comes up with a steal, and Worm secures it. But this turnover is secured by the Racers. And they're racing down the floor with Crespo, and she gets fouled. That's Bethany Worm, who had made those back-to-back threes and got that big steal down on the baseline. Taylor Covington will come in for Indiana Tech.
Also checking in for Northwest Ohio, number 10,
Alicia Lawson checks in for Northwest Ohio. Crespo could not hit the free throw. Both teams really struggling from the line so far. Crespo does get the second one. Find Whitaker. Don't believe Whitaker's scored yet in this game. She is the leading scorer for the Warriors, but right as I say that, she gets off the snide. Lawson around the screen. Wanted to step back, instead finds Crespo. Crespo had that one blocked, it looked like, and that was Foy, who got a hand up to alter the ball. They zip it inside to Decker. She gets her own rebound, and there's another putback for Genevieve Decker. Genevieve Decker is making it happen on the offensive glass. In reality, UNOH is actually 3 for 4 from the free throw line. It's Indiana Tech who's struggling from the line. They're 1 for 5 from the line. However, Genevieve Decker having a great game, particularly on the offensive glass. She's got 8 points. Bethany Worm, though, is knocking them down from beyond the arc. She had back-to-back threes not too long ago, and we'll show you one of them on our Summit City Sports replay. Check that. That was Smith scoring in transition, but it was Worm who came up with a loose ball. But Worm also had a steal earlier in this game. Worm's been doing a lot. She's got 11 points. We'll get you another look at one of her replays. This was Worm's steal earlier in the ballgame, right along the baseline. We'll go look at it here. Worm with a nice recovery. There she is. It's on the edge of the paint, was able to work her way over and steal the ball along the baseline. Will be Racers basketball as the Warriors have stretched a lead that was once 5 points at the end of the first quarter out to 18. Jada Haynes feeds that one over to Murata Crespo. Sands with the left hand, she traveled. Taylor Covington will come across the timeline. She's picked up by Haynes. They got Worm in the middle of a 1-3-1 zone. Warriors get it to her. Decker with a tough catch. Cross-court pass. Foy finds enough space and is able to score. Warriors making it happen against that 3-2 zone, and they've now got a 20-point lead. Here's Haynes with Decker on her. Goes outside to Crespo. Crespo's three is no good. And Whitaker chases down the board. Whitaker leapt in the air and called for the ball. She did get it. Covington wanted to let it fly, but the closeout by Haynes was just in time. Worm gets her own rebound, keeps it alive, finds Decker, and Decker is able to hit the floater, and another second chance bucket for Genevieve Decker. Credit to Worm for keeping that play alive. Basket is good, and that's Cruiser. Kalia Cruiser, the senior out of Madison, Wisconsin. Home, of course, to the Wisconsin Badgers. Worm, the outside of the paint, goes inside. That's Covington for three, and she drains it. Covington, at long last, knocks down a three ball. Taylor Covington, the freshman out of Dublin, Ohio, which I believe is home to the headquarters of Scott's Turf Builder as well as Wendy's. And Alicia Lawson getting to the basket there. Juliana Burris, the junior, will come into the game. She's also from Dublin, Ohio. She's a junior. Covington's a freshman. But they both went to the same high school, Dublin Kaufman. Alicia Lawson went to Boucher High School in Toledo, Ohio. She is the second leading scorer coming into this game for the Racers. She does not complete the three-point play, though. Corinne Smith was right there for the board. Knocked out of bounds off of the Racers. Burris finds Whitaker. Whitaker sizing it up, takes the shot, but misses the three, and it's over the backboard. Went off the bar up there above the backboard, so that's why the whistle was blown. Jada Haynes coming across the timeline for UNOH. She gets around the screen from Jativa. Trinity Rains into the paint, hits the floater. Trinity Rains able to knock it down, and that's back-to-back buckets for the Racers. That's knocked into the backcourt by Haynes. Jada Haynes one-on-one. She will get to the cup and score. Jada Haynes is the leading scorer coming into this game for UNOH. She averages over 20 points per game, over 21 points per game, in fact. Decker, the floater, comes up short. Unable to get a second chance that time. She's gotten a number of second chance buckets in this game so far. But the last 6 points belong to the Racers. Little crossover dribble behind the back by Rains. And she finds Gativa. Stolen away by Decker. She jumped the passing lane and took it away. Decker finds Foy in transition. Racers come back the other way with Haynes. Gativa sets the screen for her, and she finds Rains. Rains will get the screen from Mariata Crespo. Lawson trying to split defenders, and she somehow gets that to go. It's an 8-2 run so far by the Racers. Warriors looking to answer as Whitaker has it. Finds Worm on the inside of the paint. The outside of the paint, actually. Worm from the free throw line. Got it. Bethany Worm already in double figures as far as scoring goes. Lawson finds some help. That's Gativa. Gativa, left-handed, no good. Over the top for the rebound was Crespo. She missed it, and Whitaker comes away with the ball for Indiana Tech. Turnaround jumper, Foy able to knock it down. Foy just caught the ball and turned around quick and hit the shot. Haynes around the screen, Burris on her. Here's Crespo spinning around, and she's fouled on the shot. Crespo will go to the line. Subs will come in for the Warriors, including Taylor Covington and Corinne Smith. A minute 20 to go in this second quarter. Crespo's able to hit the first of two. Second one rims out, and all alone for that rebound was Foy. Here's Covington back across the timeline, finds Smith. Foy in the middle of the zone, they get it to her. Whitaker from the corner, and she hits a three. Cairo Whitaker with, I believe, her first three of the game. Driving into the paint is Haynes. Off the glass, too strong. Whitaker's got the board. That was Covington, I beg your pardon, who had the board. That's Foy in the paint. Her jumper won't fall, and Lawson's got it for UNOH, University of Northwest Ohio. Out of Lima, Ohio, as Lawson hands that one off to Rains. Spinning in the paint is Cruiser, and Cruiser's shot won't fall. Game clock's down to 8 seconds. Coming toward the end of the first half. Whitaker trying to split defenders. Now looks for help. Covington, no good on the 3 ball, and that ends the first half. But a good first half it is for Indiana Tech as they lead it 43-20 over UNOH. It was close early on. Warriors were up by 5 at the end of the first quarter, but now they lead it by 23. We'll be back in about 6.5 minutes. You're watching Indiana Tech Warrior basketball. This broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
Hi, I'm Paxton, and I'll be your tour guide today. Behind me, we have Pearson Hall. This is one of our freshman dorms on campus. Today, I'll be showing you dorm rooms. Come inside. The only way to get into campus is if you have an ID card, so you'll have to swipe into all the dorms. And then over here, we have an intercom system. So through every dorm, we have these dial buttons within the dorm rooms and then outside. So say you're visiting somebody, you don't live here, you would dial their room number, and then you can actually call their room, and they can unlock the doors to the dorm through the intercom system, and you can talk to them. They can see you through a camera, and they can unlock the doors for you so they don't have to leave the room. It's really nice to have. So right here we just have our main lobby. Every floor has a lobby. In the lobbies we just have TVs and stuff. You can watch movies, play video games. You can hang out with friends, do homework, play card games. It's just a nice little hangout area to have. And then right here, this is what we call our RA office. So every single night there will be an RA in the office. They're just there for your needs if you have any issues with toilets or sinks or anything being clogged. They'll always be in there for your help. If you have questions about anything, you can always come see an RA here. And then over here, we have mailboxes. Every student has a mailbox. They are really small. The only thing they can fit is card-sized items. Throughout campus, you'll see our mail room when you go on your actual tour later on, and that will be in one of our other buildings where you'll receive bigger packages. All right, so here's the laundry room. So in the laundry room, you don't have to save quarters or use quarters. I know it says 25 cents, but it is included with living on campus. And then there's one on every floor and every side of the floor, so there's 2 on every floor in Pearson. So every student has keys to their dorm. And then as you come in, you will see our intercom system right here that I talked about in the entranceway. So this is where you would unlock the door for visitors, talk to them. And then one really nice thing about it is there is a security guard button right there. So if you were to have somebody calling your room constantly at 5 o'clock in the morning because some student forgot their keys, you could actually press the security guard button and it will lock them in that little box that we entered to into the dorm. It'll lock both the outside doors and the inside doors and call security. So it also has a nice safety measure within your room. You don't even have to leave your room for that. So it's really nice. And then as we enter in this way, you'll see this is the half of our room looks like. So there's this, and then on the other side of the suite, there's a mirrored room that looks exactly like this. The desk, the dressers, and the closets, and all of the drawers and stuff all come with. You can decorate it any way you'd like, and then mini fridges, TVs, anything like that you would bring here. And then through here we have our bathroom. So then as we come into the bathroom, you'll see that this side of the room has their own sink and toilet, and then as you come through, there's one shower shared between the 2 rooms, and then this side of the room has their own sink and toilet, and then there's the mirrored room right here. So then they share a little common space out there, and then this is the exact same stuff, and it's all the same. Here we have Calflush. This is our other freshman dorm on campus. It is across the street from main campus. We'll be showing another freshman dorm, the laundry room, and then the hangout lobby area. Come on in. So same thing as Pearson. To get into the dorms, you have to have a swipe card that unlocks and lets you in. All right, and then we have the same intercom system as we do in Pearson, and it runs throughout all of the dorms. And then in here is the lobby area where all the students hang out. We have a TV so people can hook up Xboxes or anything like that, DVD players, you can watch movies. I know RAs put on a bunch of activities down here. They do movie nights with hot chocolate during the winter. We've done pumpkin carving and we watch a Halloween movie, and so that's all done down here. And then it's the same thing over here. You can do some studying, you can hang out with friends, you can eat dinner if you want, and like I said, you can hang out with your RA, hang out with your friends, do homework, but follow me to the next part. So same thing as Pearson, every student has keys to their dorm. So when you first walk in, it's different than Pearson where there's no like 2 mirrored room. It's just 1 room with 2 students. The shelves, the desk, the drawers, all of the beds and stuff all come with. And then over here, it's the same for Pearson and Calb-Flesch. You can control the air condition and the heat for the room, not the entire dorm, which is so nice because then it's between you and your roommate, not through hundreds of people in one building. And then as we walk over here, you'll see that the sink is outside of the bathroom, which is so nice because obviously if your roommate's showering, you don't have to worry about not being able to brush your teeth or even use the sink or get a drink of water or anything like that. And then as we walk over here, you'll see only 2 roommates to 1 bathroom. And then the shelving space. And then instead of Pearson where they have closets, you would have this whole shelving space and hanger area. And then same thing as Pearson, we have the intercom system over here where you can press the security guard button, you can talk to them, and then see them through the camera. Calb-Flesch also has mailboxes. They're the same size. They fit card-sized items. And again, if you have any bigger packages, we do have a mailroom on campus. So then through here, this is the laundry room. The difference between Pearson and Calb-Flesch is Calb-Flesch, there's only 1 in the whole building and it's on the first floor, whereas Pearson has them on every floor. But it is the same as they are included with living here, so you don't have to use quarters. It's free to the students. And that concludes the tour. Thanks for coming with. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to your counselor. Hope to see you around campus. Go Warriors!